Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Today is Monday. We're back with Superfilm support. Remember, you can send your film questions to superfilmsupport.com and I'll answer you here on YouTube with a video. Today we're back with Paul that asked the question about which one was best, large format or medium format. And it was a tricky question to answer, but I did my best. I'll leave the link up here. But he had a second part for the question. He's like, how to select a large format camera. I'm currently determining if I'll go a Vista, 4.5 or a Chamonix, weighting the issues, portrait, landscape, etc. He says he hasn't seen a video like this in my channel. I've have a couple Superfilm supports. I actually did one between the Chamonix I have here and the Intrepid. I've done a couple of how to pick a camera, but maybe I have never made a how to pick a large format camera. First of all, like I said in last week's video, you want to kind of like always turn the question to yourself and see what kind of photography you want to do with your camera, because it will change quite a bit on what kind of photography you want to do, what kind of camera will fit best. Then also budget is always a big question, but let's say budget is not on the table, okay? We have pretty much three kinds of cameras. We have the field camera, like these two wooden ones here. We have the monorail camera, like the one we have in the back here. And then we have what I call like the press camera, which is like Linhof or Graflex or Vista, some of those, metallic bodies that close or clamp down. So I'll say it first. If you're going to be going for something lightweight, you're going to be doing landscape, you're going to be doing portraiture, but you're not like looking for the most precision ever, a field camera is the best choice. So something like a Chamonix, the Intrepid, there's a couple other choices out there, a Stenopeka and others. Depending on the budget, I would go for one or the other. Intrepid is a very entry level budget camera, but at the same time, I always consider that it's not the best for beginners because it lacks a couple things that other more premium price cameras have. And even though it's a great bang for the buck, I still think it has those things that if you know what you're doing, you can get amazing results with an Intrepid. But if you're totally new for it, I would kind of wait a little bit to go into an Intrepid, maybe buy it as a B camera that you use in certain trips. A Chamonix is a great option too. You have like a more current and modern, it's very modular. It has like an extension. You can change the bellows and all these things. Then you have Shenhao, which is also a great option. And I want to say, just in case, I've had commercial relationship with Chamonix before. It doesn't mean that I like them more or less. I actually had them before I even started having commercial relationship with them. But just in case, want to let you guys know. But yeah, I like them pretty much all. Depends on the use. Then, if you're going to be doing something like studio photography, portrait photography, where you really need something like this studio stand or column, and you want to do very precision stuff, and like you're really obsessed about, perfection, I would not get a field camera. I would go something to like this, like the monorails. Monorails are, to me, absolutely the best cameras out there if they didn't weigh a thing. If that camera its weight was the same as the Chamonix, I would never have a field camera when I go out. But the problem is this thing is a monster, and right now it's in uber monster mode with a super extension. Usually it's a more petite camera, but the Rp5 monorail cameras like that are usually pretty cheap for what they were and pack a bunch of features. But do bear in mind, weight can be an issue. So if you want like architectural stuff, anything that requires a lot of precision, I would recommend monorails. But like I said, consider the weight, consider the fact of also accessories, because when you're picking a camera, you always want to be able to buy accessories for it, just in case you need back bellows for wide angle movements, if you want to have something like long bellows for extreme close-ups or long lenses, if you want to use like back bellows for very wide lenses that, for example, the Intrepid is famous for not really being able to use anything down from maybe a 65. So like a 47 XL, 58 XL are kind of hard or probably almost impossible to use on the Intrepid. You can use that on a camera like the Chamonix or the CNR or other Arca Swiss or whatever brand. Then, like I said, there's the third option, which is, I would say, the premium or the press cameras. For example, Linhof is famous there. We have Vista, we have Toyo. Those cameras are usually a little sturdier, a little stronger, because they usually have like a metal design and like a uni body, so you can like clamp it into. Even some lenses fold into the camera. Those cameras to me are for the person that's doing field that doesn't mind a little extra weight. that maybe doesn't need so many movements or so many liberty of like, you know, bag bellows and things like that that some field cameras have. And at the same time, like very, very premium cameras, because usually they have like Linhof has like the micrometric, like little gears up and down, and it's all very, very nicely done. Do bear in mind, Linhof cameras are not usually inexpensive, but they are very, very good and also can be refurbished down the years past. Like you can make it almost as it was new. So that's a great thing. There's a good service, let's say. So those are the three kind of cameras, but like depending on what kind of use you're going to do, you want to pick one or the other. Like I said, I can't make my mind, so it's very hard for me to tell you what you should pick. As you can see, I have pretty much every single little camera. I actually don't have anything like the press style except for a Graflex. Graflex are extremely inexpensive cameras. Most of the times they're really, really good performers. And even though they're sometimes 50, 60 years old, they're still amazing. Sometimes even 100 years old. They're still amazing. Also, there's a couple of people that refurbish them, which is great. But yeah, large format, like I said, depends on your use, depends on what you want to do. You can start ticking off things. One thing I will say, if you're getting on the verge of starting, sometimes just getting your feet wet, you know, like trying it out and testing something. Maybe don't get something super expensive just in case large format workflow is not for you. And I had a whole video I did about 8x10 and how you shouldn't get into it. But I will probably do one about like large format in general on why you shouldn't get into it, and then I'll maybe make one on why you should get into it, because there's a couple of things in large format that are pretty annoying if you're used to like a faster work pace and, you know, photography and shooting roll film and getting lots of pictures in a time. Large format is a totally different game. Like 35 and medium format are pretty similar, but large format is very different. So yeah, Paul, I hope this helped you a little bit, maybe focus your head around what you want. I think if you're buying and you can buy something that's still currently made, even if the accessories are still sold, it's always a good plus. And for that, you have Arca Swiss, Chamonix, Intrepid, and a couple other brands, Linhof, like I said. But if not, just try to see what your budget is, what you really want to shoot, and bear in mind with the weight. Don't focus so much on movements and how much angles will it do and all that if you're not going to be doing some extreme work. Like all these cameras I use will do 99% of the photography I do, except for certain very, very crazy stuff like mega macro of architecture or something like that. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. This was Super Film Support. As always, thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.